Hello, peace and blessings. It's been a while. I've actually been recovering from an illness, so I have not been doing the daily spiritual love readings. I've just been resting and recuperating. But even though I'm not 100%, I still just wanted to pull some cards and really get back into the flow of things this week for you all. So here is today's spiritual love forecast for Monday, January the 27th, which is a special day because it's one of my best friend's birthdays. But it's really interesting. I really sat and meditated on this message, and this is kind of something that I shared in my group, the Spiritual Love Circle. I talked about how it's not time to play games. We need to be very clear on what it is that we desire. And so, excuse me. So what came up was definitely what I have been feeling in my meditation, which is back and forth and planning and action. Excuse me, both showing in reverse. So the overall energy, we have the Magician and the Mirror. And what I'm feeling is we have the ability to create what it is that we want, whether that is perceived as good or perceived as bad. And I feel like there's this energy of lack of clarity. There's no clarity, right? And so we already know we're either we have the plan and we're not taking action, or we're taking action with no plan. And one of the things that some friends and I were talking about is dating, and how you can't just, you got to have a strategy, and you have to have intentions, and you have to have clarity. And I talked about how we are going to be intentional about our relationships and our love life in 2020, because if you don't have any intentions, you're not going anywhere. You're back and forth. You don't know what's good, what's good for you, what's not, what's right, what's up or down. And it's when I look at this card, his face is bewildered. There's this look of bewilderment. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know what I think I want. But it's so much clarity and so much confusion and so much back and forth. You say you want this thing, but then you're acting or speaking in ways that are not in alignment with that same thing. And so it's very important. And I feel like this is a weekly, just because of all of the things that have been happening this month. I think it's very important for you to stop going back and forth. If you're going back and forth, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then you're like, nah, you know what, forget it. Just stop. Stop going back and forth. This is just cease the action, cease the thought, cease the focus, so that you can go back here, get back to planning, right? We want to figure out what is it that you want. So that means you need to have clarity. Spend some time in prayer or meditation getting really clear on what it is that you want. Because if you don't have any direction, you don't have a map, a compass, you don't have anything written down, a goal or anything, what are you doing? And that's creating this back and forth energy. And it's you are just kind of stuck in this state of stagnation and confusion. So please look over your past relationships, look over this past month, what have you done so far this year? If you are saying that you want to manifest love, then it's time for you to do so, but do so intentionally, because love is there. Love wants to find you. Every time I look in the mirror, right, because it's a reflection, you can see there's energy being created there, but your back is turned to it because you're so busy trying to figure out what do you want to create from? Do you want to create from spirit? Do you want to create from the past? What are you creating from? You can't even see what it is that's around you. And it's not necessarily anything bad. It's just getting yourself into a different, what I like to call heart set, a mindset when it comes to love and relationships, when it comes to yourself, and getting out of that back and forth. That's not where you want to be. Either you need to, if you're moving forward and then falling back, you just need to stop and regroup and get very clear on what it is that you truly intend to manifest. Once you have a plan, then you can start to take action. But you want to take action making sure that it's going to move you forward. You don't want to keep taking action that's going to have you going back and forth on a lot of seesaw things. So it's like your intentions and your energy is just, it's off. And like, I feel like that's what this is. It's like you're trying to create out of two different spaces, and you're creating whatever you're doing, it's like canceling each other out. So it's really important for you to get clarity and then take action. We were talking about being on a dating site, right? And like, you know, there's certain sites where you have to pay, and you have to pay for a certain time period. And a friend was saying, like, I don't want to pay 6 months. I don't want to commit to that. And I was like, well, if you can't make the commitment to dating intentionally, how are you going to find the relationship that you're looking for? And so like, even the process of dating, like, I know it's not going to be you just walk out there and meet a whole bunch of great people. You're going to meet some crazy ones. You're going to meet some ones that are totally not aligned. You're going to meet a lot of people that you're going to get a lot of messages that you're just like, oh my God, will this stop? But that is the process of getting to know people, weeding through the mess. It's all part of the process, right? And so if you want to be intentional about really manifesting love, you have to date. You don't have to date online, but you do have to get out. You have to get out. You have to meet people. You have to put yourself in the position to meet people. And so, too, a lot of times with this, just in like different conversations I know so many women who are like, you know, I really want to date. I want to find, you know, my partner. I want to manifest love, but nobody is doing anything. We're all praying and, you know, setting these intentions, but then we're not taking action upon it. So you can say that you want to date and you want to meet somebody, but if you're never leaving your house, if you're never meeting, you know, your friend says, you know, she knows somebody, just allow yourself to take action towards what it is that you're saying you want. And even outside of love, like, this really just applies to life, especially being that we're in the beginning of, you know, the year. January is coming to a close. And it's like, what have you done this month? Like, did you move forward and then slide back on some of your goals? How are you feeling about yourself? How are you showing up in the world? What's changing? What's not? Like, if your plans went awry, right, then how can you take action to prevent that going forward? Because the slips, or, you know, the back and forth energy, the confusion of January, if you bring that forward with you into February, you are going to put yourself back on that cycle. So when we have missteps, or, you know, things don't go as we thought, that's material for learning. That will help you to plan to do things differently, and to know, like, okay, I'm gonna take this step instead, because when I did that last time, that did not work out too well. So it's all information to help you move forward, not to keep you stuck or confused. And then, like, we can get into the planning side, and we like have all of the details and the intentions, but then we're not taking the action. So we have to have balance between action, and then that's what will manifest, and this look of bewilderment and confusion will go away. So I really hope that this has inspired you, and I look forward to getting back in the flow of the Spiritual Love Forecast. I'm really excited because the podcast is coming very soon. So we'll be talking about healing, we'll talk about love, relationships, all matters of the heart, and so much more. You can find more information about that at the spirituallovepodcast.com. That's spirituallovepodcast.com, hosted by me. And I cannot wait. I'm so excited. It is good to be back. I am feeling much better, although there is still some healing that needs to take place, but just being back is really energizing me. So hopefully we will keep the momentum and the health going, all in positive forward movement. So until next time, peace.